I had one too many drinks and ended up at the embassy. Where I go, just breathe. I just want to say I'm eternally grateful for the friendship of Eric Greenlee, aka Handsome Bane, only because I would not have this phrase without him. What up, though? Welcome back to HYPHEN Universe. This cup is a liar because I'm a spring summer guy, but it's a very cute cup. So shout out to my mother-in-law. We're going to talk about streaming because your boy tried to get into streaming last year. And it all started with a little game I like to call NBA Live. Way back in the day, went to my cousin's house and they had a Sega Genesis. And they had this brand new game that had just dropped called NBA Live 95. Now, if you're familiar with that series, there was previous installments under different names. There was Lakers versus Celtics. There was Bulls versus Lakers, Bulls versus Blazers, and then NBA Showdown. Now, I've played those previous ones, but they never was like, oh my God, this is incredible. NBA Live changed the game, okay? Changed it, rearranged it, all those fancy words. NBA Live was the closest thing to NBA action that you could get, especially as a child. So it had all the teams. This is before they even put Creative Player in, because Creative Player didn't come in until like 96. You could, the biggest thing was trades. I took my beloved Chicago Bulls. And and Jordan was out of the game, of course. So I'm pretty sure I got rid of Pippen too. I had Grant Hill, Penny Hardaway. I wasn't the biggest Shaq fan then, so probably David Robinson. Maybe Karl Malone before I learned he was trash. But I stacked this roster, and I was just whooping people, man. And when I say people, I mean I was whooping the computer because my team was jacked. But I fell in love with that series, and I became obsessed with NBA Live. I didn't have my own system though. So fast forward to, God, it had to be 98, 99. The Genesis 3 came out. Now, if you have seen a Genesis 3, you know it's like yay big. And it's a Genesis 3. And you just put the cartridge in and it had two controller inputs. Two controller inputs. And one of the first games that I got, in fact, it was the very first game I got, was NBA Live 98. So I got the game, it had to have been like 99 when I got it. Because by then, I had moved on from the Bulls. I've since went back, don't judge me, to the 76ers. Because one of my favorite basketball players of all time, aside from Michael Jordan, is Allen Iverson. And so I was a big fan of Philly. So I remember on NBA Live 98, one of the last games they ever made for the Genesis, I remember battling my way to the championship with most of the same Philly roster intact. I had I think it was before the Stackhouse trade, so I had Stackhouse, Iverson, Terry Mills was on the team. I think I picked up Terry Mills. But I won the championship, and I just loved that game so much. So then comes along the PC, okay? And my father got us a PC in 2000. And at first, I didn't even think that there was a whole world of PC gaming for me to enjoy until we went into either Office Depot or Staples. And I went through the game section, and there it was, NBA Live 2000 with Tim Duncan on the cover. And who was in the game for the first time in years in the EA title? Michael Jordan. So I got NBA Live 2000. Played the hell out of that. I was not as good at that game as I thought I was. I struggled. I never perfected that one. So I played that for a long time. Went to college. Played Live 01 there. And then played Live 02. Live 2003, though, is my second favorite. I love that game. I became obsessed. I got the PC game. I found out about NBALive.org and all these sites where you can download rosters and mods and You could do update courts and jerseys. It was amazing, and I found that out for NBA Live 2000 too. But I was just locked in on doing that, and I was obsessed with that for a long time. Then Live 2004 came out. That's my favorite game because it made it a little bit more difficult for you to use the freestyle moves. So NBA Live 2004 is my favorite. 05 was great. I know that's championed as the classic one, as the best one. I loved 04 personally. And then I kind of fell off for a few years. So like the last live game I remember having was like maybe Live 2007. And I played it for a little bit, then ended up traded to GameStop for something else. I did not get back into NBA games till 2K11. When of course, who's in 2K? Michael Jordan. And they had this whole big deal about the Jordan challenges, and you could play as classic teams and everything. I was all about that, but I did not have that first. I ended up getting NBA 2K12 from a friend. And I loved it so much, I ended up buying it for my friend Anthony, and then borrowed his copy, and we were playing that a lot. Then I ended up with my PS3, which is way over there. Started playing 2K11, one of the first games I played on it. Loved it. Had a great time. Bought 2K13. Now this is when it all starts. For the longest time, I ran. At first, it was a Bulls dynasty, and I mistakenly. And Derrick, I'm sorry, I traded Derrick Rose for Steph Curry because Steph Curry's playing great. Now I'm not an up-to-date gamer. I don't have to have the newest game every year. So this is like 26. It was definitely by 2016, 2017 when I'm playing this. Playing as the Bulls, and I traded Derrick for Steph, and I regretted it, and I couldn't get him back. But then I discovered Chris Move on YouTube, and I was like, yo, he records his gameplay. I could totally do that same thing. That looks fun. It wasn't even on some, I could make money doing this. It was like, I want to record my gameplay and talk over it. That was my whole idea. But I don't want to spend money to do it. So my first attempt at streaming, or at least recording my gaming footage, was on an iPad. Because they probably still exist. There's YouTube tutorials out there where if your room is dark enough and you line your iPad up, and you had to even have a newer iPad. I had older iPads. So the newer iPads, like maybe circa that time frame, like 2016, 2015, if you held your iPad up and propped it up, you could record your screen. And then the idea was that you would rip the video from your iPad, put it into your video editor, and then size it up correctly and make it look good so that it looked like you were capturing your footage real time. I tried to do that once and it looked like trash, and then I gave up. But in the back of my mind, I was always like, man, I'd really like to figure out a way to record my basketball games. Like, even if it's just for fun. Like, I just really found my Charlotte Bobcats franchise fascinating. Never won a championship with that one on 2K13. So I was determined I was going to figure it out. And everybody's like, everything I read, get a capture card, get a capture card. You need a capture card. You should get a capture card. And I was like, I ain't gonna buy no capture card. I'm never gonna need a capture. You know, I got podcasting. I got other things to do. I'm not really too worried about it. Then the pandemic hits. And then the government gives me and my wife, Angel, a whole bunch of money. So as I'm down to a skeleton crew at work, on my breaks, I start watching videos about how to stream, about OBS, about Twitch, about what you need to get started. So I come home one day, I say, Angel, I would like to spend some of our stimulus money on streaming stuff. She's like, okay. And thus, this setup behind me was born. I had no L-shaped table till last summer. Recently purchased this mic for Rasslecast Power Hour because my mic up there does not work with Zoom very well. 2 lights for streaming purposes and, ironically enough, video purposes now and podcasting purposes. Dual monitor. Shout out to my dad for this monitor back here. There's a laptop Angel won me a few years back. The trusty PS4 Spider-Man edition. Shout out to Janice again. An Elgato capture card, which is over there in the box. And it doesn't stop there. Stream Deck for Christmas, which is over there in the box. I had some water get in here in July, and all of my stuff had to be rearranged. But it's actually worked out for the better because it'll help me get organized. I had a big old mess here. What else? Oh, and a converter for the PS3, since PS3 won't let you capture directly to the Elgato, so I had to get a specific device for that. And oh, not to mention your HDMI, your RCA component cable to HDMI plug-in for the PS2. Is that everything? And that wasn't all at once, but oh, webcams. Can't forget about the good old webcams. I got a webcam and I purchased it in March, April. It did not get here until July because dummy me got a really cheap webcam that was supposed to shoot 1080. Didn't check Prime or anything, so I had to wait. And I got it, and it worked great for about 3 months, and then it stopped. And I haven't tried to use it since. Thankfully, since then, shout out to Fat Kid Deals, I've gotten 2 more webcams for decent prices that are pretty great quality that I use now. What you're about to watch is my 2K17 gameplay. I think it's 17. I don't even know anymore. I feel like it's 17. You're going to watch my 2K17 gameplay. It is my Bulls Dynasty franchise. My team. Whatever they call it nowadays. On this team is Derrick Rose, who I did not trade this time and is actually going to retire after these playoffs. So it was very important to me that I win this championship for Derrick. Also on this team, via free agency, Kevin Durant. Let's go. Also on this team, still on this team, Jimmy Butler. Let's go. And an assorted cast of a great rookie that I picked up from trading a okay point guard for the #1 pick in the season before. After I flamed out in the playoffs the year before, because what had happened, I didn't realize my starting point guard who I ended up trading was hurt, and so I played him for half a game and I was getting busted. So then I put in Derrick and it was too late because I was trying to do too much. It was Derrick. It was a big old mess. It was like 4th quarter. So I lost the year before. So going for my 3rd championship in my franchise history. It'll be the 9th in Bulls history if I win this. Just the first round series against the Pacers. I have more streaming stuff to tell you. I'm going to lead off each of these little playthroughs with a little bit of streaming history for you, and then I'll let you get to it. So before you watch this, I have the face cam on for this gameplay. I don't have it for later videos. We'll figure that out later. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, guys. Hit that bell so you never miss a notification. Pretty please. I'm looking at my mic and the camera's here. We'll see what happens with that. But enjoy this 2K17 gameplay of round 1 of the playoffs. Derrick Rose's last hurrah. And I'll see you guys on the next one. Thanks, y'all.
On their terms. And now that the seal is broken, maybe their shooting will start to improve.
Yeah, I don't think they really wanted to have as cold a start as they did, but maybe that'll break the ice and they'll move forward in fine fashion from here.
Durant, the pass to Galloway. 5 on the clock. Beyond the arc.
Crap.
Garrett
Oh, we still made it. Nice.
Garrett's got 6.
Sir.
And here are the Bulls now. They're on an 18-4 run right now. Portis in the post. Hits the layup after the sweet pump fake to freeze the D.
And they've scored several times already here in the first quarter on the inside.
Oh, you hurt? You're hurt? He's going to score on
Left side Turner. Can't hit from 12.
I'm the point guard. I can't pass him this.
And an overpowering first quarter effort.
They don't like that.
Advantage.
They don't like that.
By 16. And back with the start of the second quarter in just a moment.
Heck yeah. That's what I'm talking about. Beautiful start, fellas. And
You can't hit that time. Some solid defense from Kid Jokic. The Pacers have gone 6 of 9 in the second quarter. Some good work from the field.
Oh, board.
Hits the front of the rim and out.
Yeah, good tough D there to get a hand up and force that miss.
That's example number 1 of why he is such a strong defensive player and why he has such a great defensive reputation.
We get ready to continue with this round 1 matchup. The Bulls leading by 19. While we've got a moment, let's set the floor. Brought to you by Gatorade, all fueled up for the second half.
Yes, sir.
So the Bulls 5 right now. It's intercepted.
Oh, that's a tough pass to make there. He had a very narrow gap to squeeze it through and just couldn't get it done.
Ooh, thank you.
Bring the thunder, rock that
Let's
rim.
go.
For the game here.
I was trying to dunk it.
They're having trouble stopping this run.
And the more trips they continue to come up empty, the more the pressure builds on them.
Knocks it loose. Here's Durant. And the jam by Kevin Durant.
This is a nice third quarter surge here. They've got it
Look
going.
at KD.
Turner's got his second basket.
Exceptional skills for Turner down in the paint. This guy, I think, has the potential to be a dominant player inside for a lot of years.
Back to Butler. From deep three-point range. Sinks the triple. 10 points for him.
You know, nothing makes a coach happier than selflessness on the basketball court.
Here's Hield.
All over it.
Off the mark there with the three-point shot. 2 seconds separating the shot clock and game clock. Durant for 3. And again, it's the Bulls from deep.
No doubt about the
Fast break points.
They need a good offensive possession.
Yeah, they've gone a long time without a bucket.
It's stolen by Rose. One-on-one fast break. Yes, that goes
Ooh,
in.
so
And
pretty.
really a nice 1-2 punch there, guys. Great defensive play and great basket in transition.
Here's Rose. Passes it to Stevens. Fires the 3. Yes, and it's Rose with the assist that time.
Having a lot of trouble stopping the three-point shot.
And they're not making up for it with their own shots from deep either, so that's a double-edged sword there.
Pass to Stevens. To the inside. Outside Rose. Fires for 3. And
There we go, Derrick.
And they came out not sure what the D was doing there. Clearly a breakdown. You can ill afford to give a guy like him that good a look.
It's George on the wing.
Sorry, Bobby. Oh, Paul George is still on this team?
First free throw is good.
Playoff
Paul
P.
George, one of the more entertaining and fun guys to watch in the league. I mean, he's an elite player. Thanks
He's
to his
old.
outstanding shooting and ball handling ability, and he's
Oh,
got
what happened,
platinum
KD?
level athleticism.
He made that.
Nice jump shot. Good.
Give it again.
Here's Rose. Three-pointer.
That's
And
all
they're
right.
gonna move on
That's
to the
all right.
conference semifinals. A big
What a
playoff
game.
win for them, but what isn't a great big in the postseason, huh?
Great point. I
What a
really just
game,
love
guys.
the composure with which they played tonight. It's easy to get too keyed up for postseason basketball, but they kept their heads and just went about the business of winning.
It's time now to go courtside as we send you over to David Aldridge.
The 2K Sports postgame show.
Hey everybody, Ernie Johnson, Kevin Durant. Stellar play in the third quarter. He set the tone for how the rest of the game would go. They never really relinquished control after that.
Well, it's a great feeling when you're the guy that helps your team close out a series with that kind of game. You know, the way he had it go, he's got to be feeling
This is
very
gorgeous.
confident going into the conference.
I would be an
series.
F5.
He left it all on the court tonight. He didn't look too fatigued, though. I'm sure he still has plenty left in his tank, buddy.
I'm floored by how well he shot the ball. He was unstoppable. I don't mean just the points. The ability to create opportunities for himself and then deliver.
Commentary
now
is
that's
way
a
too
superstar
loud.
effort.
Every time I see his picture, I forget he's on the cover of 17. All right. Okay. think I had trouble with Milwaukee in the regular season.
Did you